All right, rundown. Today is October 26th. Scoot, Riggs, new girl on the couch. We don't know who she is, do we?
Nope. No idea.
I do.
Who?
It's Megan.
Megan, welcome.
Hi, Megan.
What does she do?
She might be working for us in tech.
Oh, nice. Tech. Very nice. Breaking barriers, too.
Yeah, a little like
female
I
tech.
can't operate on this person. It's my son, and then it turns out it's the mom.
Yes,
Yeah.
because nobody expects that for
Right.
tech. Brought to you by SeatGeek. It's true, Coley. What are you laughing about?
It's
SeatGeek, breaking barriers. That's what we do. Female CEO, female tech. Everyone says we're
Our
sexist.
our female quota's going up fast.
There's girls everywhere now here. It's unlimited girls. SeatGeek,
girls, chicks dig the bad boys.
they dig the bad boys. SeatGeek, brought to you by SeatGeek. All your ticket needs. SeatGeek, $20 off. Use the code RUNDOWN. Get all your tickets if you're going to the Cubs. How much are Cubs tickets?
Like $3,000.
$3,000. It's a lot of
Or
cake.
if you have season tickets, they're face value.
Oh.
Shout out. Oh, look at this.
Oh.
$1,000.
Davey.
Whoa.
Thank you, my friend.
What is it?
Here,
What
Riggs.
is this thing?
I'll
Game
let
of
you
Thrones?
Whoa. Okay.
I like to wet the beak. Hey,
What-
What a
hey,
rundown this is.
Hey,
What is
guys,
it?
let's wet the beak.
This is page views money here.
Come on.
This is way different.
Everyone come wet the beak. Come on, Cole. You want to wet the beak? Come on.
Lannister
Wet the
always
beak.
pays
Wet
his
the beak.
bets.
You want to wet the
Is
beak?
that
Come
what
on.
it is? Is that
Sean,
Game of
Sean,
Thrones?
you
What
want to wet
about
the beak?
Megan?
You want to wet the
Megan
beak?
wanted 20
Megan, you
bucks?
want to wet the beak?
Portnoy
All right,
money?
I'm wetting beaks. I'm wetting beaks.
Atlanta-
Beak wetting's over now.
That
Beak
was
wetting
for-
season's over.
That bet was for, Dan and I had a bet that the Red Sox versus Cubs, who would have more wins. Cubs obviously did, and then the caveat was unless one team won the World Series, that would be the winner, but the Red Sox eliminated, and there's the payment. A Lannister always pays his debts.
There you go. Thank you. Hey, we made that bet a long time ago.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, before the
Yeah,
season.
yeah, it was like- yeah.
So, $1,000 that won't be used on the Breeders' Cup for me, which kind of sucks. SeatGeek.
You want me to wet the beak? You want me to give you a little money back?
No,
I'll give you a little money back.
no,
The
no,
Breeders' Cup?
no, unless you want to place a bet.
Well, I will probably. So
Okay.
I'll probably, yeah.
All right.
We'll talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
SeatGeek, $20 off. Use the code RUNDOWN. Download the app. Speaking of the World Series, Transition City here on a rainy Thursday in New York. Big win for the Cubs. You got to be feeling good.
Yeah, I was. You were out at the board meeting yesterday. I said my poop meter was at 0.0 because I kind of expected Trevor Bauer to do that and Jake Arrieta to do that. Big story is Ben Zobrist and Kyle Schwarber. You gonna say you were wrong on that one?
Nope, not yet. Because
Okay.
I said
But I mean, he's been unbelievable.
He's been good. I didn't say he wouldn't be good. I said mojo. So
Yeah, that's
you
right.
can't,
Okay,
you
yeah.
can't until the series is over.
Yep.
I won't say it. I will say I think the Cubs, I don't think the Indians are going to win another game.
The pitching match. So tomorrow night, Tomlin he's going to throw
stinks.
a lot of curveballs, and the Cubs don't hit curveballs all that well. And then Saturday night will be Kluber Lackey. So that I mean, the Indians could theoretically, they probably would be favored in that game.
I guess all I think is, and I could be wrong. If Cleveland's going to make a series out of this, they're going to win this next game. They're either going to lose 4-1 or it's going to be they're going to win. And it's
I actually agree with that. The Cubs are the better team. Now that obviously doesn't mean. I mean, you could have said the Red Sox were the better team than the Indians, but I like our chances playing it out in a 7-game.
I have a Schwarber story.
Lay it on us.
Stooley hit me up, game one, randomly. He's like, yo, Riggs, I got Schwarber, first home run, no-brainer, 40-1.
Oh,
So I was like, I've never talked to the fucking guy. I was like, okay, yeah, that sounds fantastic.
first home run Cubs, first home run series.
First home run of
World
the series,
yep.
game one. Put $50 on it.
He hit the wall, right?
Fucking
The wind.
smoked the wall.
The wind.
In the air, I mean, it was gone. It wasn't
The
even
wind.
fucking close. I was going nuts.
How
3
much
feet
money
short
do
of
you
the
have
wall.
on it?
$50.
At 40-1.
Yeah.
I would have been
Couple
nice.
G's. I mean,
would have been nice.
The worst part was that when he hit it, it was fucking
Yeah, the
gone. So I had
wind.
already
I know.
convinced myself. I was like, that's
He
it.
hit that
When
one.
you
He
bet
killed that one.
baseball, though, you don't. I will say, I don't count home runs when I bet baseball till it is like literally a fan's
Like,
park.
That was my
4
mistake.
replays.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
that's definitely my mistake. It was gone, and then it wasn't, and it was
No,
devastating.
he killed that ball.
Wait, I had one other thing. Fuck. Now I
That
can't
was
think
double
about it.
outs. Did you notice that?
Oh, put the highlights without rights in there. Glenny killed
Hilarious.
it. Glenny was
That-
like made to play Schwarber.
Glenny, I said it to you. That was the best highlight without
Yeah,
right.
it was by far.
That
Yeah.
was the best
The
highlight.
taped on beard.
Yeah, you were born to play Kyle Schwarber, so we'll put that in here.
Yeah, you are Schwabo. So that was a very good highlight without right. Shout out to Glenny Balls on that. Shout out to Glenny Balls. I wrote that blog. So I have the mercury poison thing going on where I can't eat fish for 2 weeks. I have double the mercury. It's actually a fairly serious deal. And they're like, you need a primary care. I assume nobody who moved has a primary care physician, right?
No.
So nobody does.
I haven't had one in like a decade.
So they're like, you need one because they're who's going to talk to you about the mercury. I Googled it and like literally all the ones that are available went to school in the Caribbean. So I don't fucking trust that for shit. And Glenny Balls got me a primary care physician too. So huge day for Glenny Balls.
Yep.
Wow,
And he's bringing
Glenny.
back Jersdays.
Thursdays, wearing it. That's what's his face?
Come
Pat
show
Tillman.
it. Come show it.
All right,
Come on.
He's also wearing shorts. It's 30 degrees out.
Yep.
Cargo
It's-
shorts.
Might even snow today.
Yep, 24/7 way of
Thursday
life.
Jersdays are back.
Big day for Glenny
Boom.
Balls.
Love it. All right.
Good stuff,
Coach
Glenny.
O.
Hey, wait, Glenny, here for the Jersdays. Go and watch your beak a little bit more, okay? All right. Okay, here you go.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Portnoy money.
What am I talking about? Coach O. Great quote. Someone asked him who you like in the World Series. What was his exact?
It was like brother,
Yeah,
which
brother.
is
That-
great
that
because
makes
he's definitely a brher guy.
That's
he's like
the only guys who do brother. Hulk Hogan.
Yeah,
and,
Coach
like,
O. He
Coach O.
is a wrestler
Brother.
in a head coach's job. He said, brother, it's turnover Wednesday and we had practice today.
By the way, that's the answer you want, as opposed to Mike Leach, who will talk about the Cubs for like 7 hours.
And they're on a bye week. So that's how locked in Coach O is.
I mean, if
They're
you're
on a
anybody
bye
on
week.
that squad or anybody in
Yeah.
the fan base, you're pumped about that
Yes.
answer. That's the perfect answer.
I will still say my favorite Coach O side plots, and it's happening. We said it. They're going to cover 4 games. They're going to win 4 games. That's a fact. There are now lots of articles already out there that are like, Coach O thinks he's crazy if he has a chance to be the head coach.
Yeah.
Like, that's my favorite subplot of the Coach O. When Coach O gets to the point, he's like, I'm going to get this job.
Yeah.
And everyone else is like, Coach O is delusional. it's
the best.
Yeah.
And
then he'll get then he
Yeah,
leaves.
yeah.
He won't
then he'll get
stay.
sad, and then he'll get right.
Yeah.
We got a great Coach O story sent to the Pardon My Take DMs. It was Coach O was in like spring or summer practice, and he walked up to the water boy and asked for water, and the guy gave him Gatorade, and he dumped Gatorade all over his head, and the water boy was like, Coach O, like that's Gatorade, and he just turned and was like, I don't give a fuck what that is, and then just kept on dumping it on his head. That's Coach O.
Also, quick shout out Bob Diaco, who is quickly rising in my favorite coaches of all time ranks. He gave a 10-minute press conference about conflict yesterday, and this guy was so mad, but boiling silent anger during the entire press conference, how he got set up for conflict because he's like, I talked to 14 people, I went through all the proper channels, everybody said yes, yes, yes. Suddenly no one wants part of conflict, but he was sneaky, super proud of himself. And he's right. He's like, why are we talking about 2 teams that no one cares about because I made it important? I said this.
Yeah.
I am going to UCF. I marked that down. I will be at conflict next year, UConn, UCF.
That would be one of those jokes that's like really funny in your head, and then you get there and you're like, fuck.
I don't know.
I'm in Central Florida for
I
the
don't
UConn
know.
UCF
I don't
game
know.
on a
Because
Saturday
I
when
don't-
I could be watching
I
everything
don't
else.
think that's always the case with
Yeah.
Barstool. It's like, why the fuck did I get myself involved? What was that? Oh, that was when we did
You're gonna have to
Captain
like go to
Morgan.
where's UCF? Jackson? I
Listen,
don't even know where it is. Jackson.
Nobody
don't
knows.
rain on my
Right.
parade.
Whatever.
Being in the crowd in an empty
Sorry, I
stadium.
didn't mean to do that.
I'm going to make my own conflict trophy. I said I want Bob Diaco. What he should do is bring the trophy. He said he's not. But if UConn wins, he needs to run it across to UCF, put it on their bench, run back to the UConn bench, and then run back to the UCF bench to get it like it was there the whole time. So Bob Diaco, horrible coach, by the way. One of the worst coaches.
But this is smart because he's getting the press.
Totally, and that's what he
I was
said.
gonna say he needs to get picked up by like a startup or something with
Yeah.
ideas, marketing.
Yeah,
that was
that's
genius.
what he said. You can tell he's like a maniac.
Yeah.
I said it. He's one of those guys, without knowing, he doesn't drink coffee, but he's like wired 24/7. He probably sleeps an hour a day.
Right, and he's one of those guys that got hired not because of X's and O's, but just because he was really he sold the person, the
Boardroom.
AD at
Yeah.
UConn.
Right.
Boardroom.
Right.
You hire him, you throw him in a small room, closed doors, and see what happens.
Legitimately the most conservative game manager coach I've ever seen. Like, doesn't like passing, which is crazy. He'll punt on 4th and inches from like the plus, like in the red zone. Oh, another Bob Diaco stat. He said the red zone for him is the 22-yard line in it. That's such a Diaco thing. He literally says like the red zone for UConn
That's
is the
definitely
22-yard line.
That's definitely because they're like, like 1 in 25 from the real red zone, but they're like 3 and 28 from the
Juicing
22
his own
in.
numbers a little bit, right?
The Diaco red zone is the 22 and in, which is fucking perfect. Vine. So conflicting stories. Vine shut down new Vines. Our boy Coley said Vine is now going to become part of Twitter. It is owned by Twitter, but I guess you just do it straight. Whatever, pretty big news. There's a lot of Vine guys out there who make tons of money. I guess Vine wasn't making money. It's a big story. People are all over social. Well, it's a big social media story.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, what do these guys do? They're like the first episode of The Bachelor, there'll be some guy. It's like professional Viner or something.
Yeah,
What do
there's
these
Vine
fucking
stars.
guys do?
There's Vine stars.
There's a lot.
Like, are they just
what's his
fucked?
face? The Florida kid, Will Greer. His brother was a huge Vine star.
Vine star.
Yeah,
So
he was
are
on
these-
Dancing with
They're
the Stars.
fucked.
These guys just work for Twitter now? I gotta understand.
I don't know. I think the Vine stars were making money, but the Vine wasn't. We have so many. It's actually one of the sadder, right up there with the Dev Nest, like taking all the content, flushing down the toilet. We've lost so many.
MLB's suspended like roughly 35 of my Vine accounts.
So many great Barstool moments have been on Vine, and then they delete it, and it's just gone forever.
They need to release all the Vines.
Imagine a company who could dig up, like you pay
All
a
the
service,
Vines.
and then they go
release
find
all the Vines right before you get rid of Vine. Give us one day.
I would pay close to $100,000 if someone said we can recuperate all this company's Vines.
Shout out Anonymous. I bet those guys can do that.
Anonymous can do anything.
Yeah, those guys can definitely
Is
do that.
there anyone, I hate being Danny too woke, but I'm just going to say it, is there any chance they're doing this to get everyone to talk about Vine and then they'll be like, you know what, we actually won't get rid of Vine? Because Vine has been on fire today.
Yeah.
People are reminded that Vine exists.
But you can't
And
make Vines today, right? Or
No,
can
no,
you?
no. They said sometime in the next few months. So they
it's a
left
good move.
themselves open
Oh, I
to
didn't
be
know it
like,
was that vague.
yeah, they said they could easily in a month be like, oh, you know what? The outpouring for Vine says that we should keep Vine around.
It would be a good move.
Yeah.
Quick commercial break. We're going to do it live. We shoot all of our rundowns from the Barstool Bar, brought to you by Oaks and Cokes, Oak Heart. This Halloween, if you're drinking anything but Oaks and Cokes, you're a loser. So Oaks and Cokes, all day long, twice on Sundays. Bacardi, the bar, thank you. Keep sponsored. It brings the rundown commercial free to you, Oaks and Cokes. Big Ben. I love this move because I'm a Brady guy, but there's this footage that came out. Ben Roethlisberger walking up to Brady before the game being like, I never do this, but can I get one of your jerseys? Just deference to the king in my mind. What do you guys think about that? Because Roethlisberger, by the way, no slouch in his own right.
Yeah, I was going to say, as a lifelong Saints fan, I'm obviously not a huge Pats Brady guy, but what the fuck are you going to say about Brady? He's Tom fucking Brady.
Do you think that's the place to do it? He is hurt, obviously.
Yeah.
Well, he's hurt, but he's probably like, I'm not going to get a million more chances. I love Tom Brady. It goes up to him, and you can't do it when you're playing against him.
Yeah, it was pregame. So he's basically saying, I want you to send me a jersey.
So
at
who
some
is
point.
wired, though? Roethlisberger?
But
I don't know.
I don't think you can do it like if Big Ben was playing. He
Yeah,
would have been
I
able
think
to do
that's
it.
when he does
So
it.
Since he's injured, he's like, okay, I'm not playing. I can pull this move.
He must have been wired.
Yeah.
Somebody was wild.
I also expect all of, this might be stupid of me to think this, but every NFL quarterback, successful NFL quarterback, has an enormous office in their house with all the Legends jerseys that they don't do any, they go into it maybe twice a year. They answer, they go in, they go on their Hotmail, answer 2 emails, and that's it. Like A-Rod Corp. Yeah, A-Rod Corp.
Yeah, A-Rod
Sign a couple
Corp.
balls. Boom, I was in my office. Big mahogany desk.
Right.
Never gets used.
So it's just like this fraternity that we.
Right,
can't
and there's
really
just
fuck
cool
with.
jerseys everywhere. That's part of being an awesome NFL.
Next story here is your boy, Dan, Darren Rovell, pouring a beer at the Cleveland Indians game. Conservative estimates, just the eye test, said he had 98% foam.
Is this really a shock, though? Darren Rovell doesn't know how to pour a beer? He's not. He doesn't seem like a guy who, got made fun of at the kegger at the frat party in college.
Can I be Danny Too Woke?
Yeah.
Is he maybe the greatest brand
Yes.
manipulator of all
No,
time?
yes, it's true.
That is so perfectly Rovell.
Yeah.
That it's brilliant.
Yeah.
The ridiculous part too is that he took the sip of just the foam.
Yeah.
And gave an honest review. And I was like,
See
"You
his
just
nose,
said
too?
fucking
He
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
wet the
Oh.
beak.
Yeah, no, he's He's one of a million. Fan of the program, so we like him.
Yep.
And another fan of the program. I know he kills people. I know he murders Kim Jong-un and all this stuff. He executes people. If you look at him sideways, he has your family killed. I love Kim Jong-un. I fucking love this guy. I love the story. He comes up. So his recent thing was he drank 10 bottles of Bordeaux in one night. 10 bottles of Bordeaux wine. The lies he says with a straight face, and the fact that if you're like, I don't think that's true, he murders you. That combination, to me, you can't replicate. There'll never be another Kim Jong-un who's like, I shot an 18.
Well, there will.
His son?
I mean, his dad was the same way. So, yeah, his son will be
Yeah,
the
his
same
dad
way.
was like the golfer.
Whatever.
One,
Whatever.
Wait, who golfed?
So
The
his
dad
dad
was
was
the
the I
golfer.
shot like
Dad
a
shot an
38, 32.
Yeah.
on fucking
He had like
18
the first
Yeah.
time he played,
He had
10
like
hole in one.
He's
Yeah,
like
10
he's
hole
yeah,
in
10 or
I'm
11
like,
hole
he
in
He
ones.
was born
like,
on the side of a mountain, like by a lightning bolt.
Yeah.
That's actually like the story. It's like in the textbooks in North Korea.
It by itself, again, just lying with those preposterous lies. It's like we had a guy, Russell the Love Muscle, who said he in high school, robbed a McDonald's and a Ferrari. Like those stories, yeah, they're kind of funny. But if you murder somebody, if they're like, that's not true,
Yeah.
that I respect.
The other thing is like every other day they're doing like a big nuke missile test,
Which
out
are
with,
fake,
like, South
right?
Korea.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
make those videos.
Which are right. They always put a video out.
Yeah.
And so it's like, do you take him serious because he's drinking 10 fucking bottles of wine and his dad?
I
shooting
think they put videos like they conquered the U.S. already in a war.
Yeah, they do like these propaganda.
Yeah, the
videos, like you
Olympics,
would see.
they won every gold medal in the Olympics.
Right. They just flat out lie.
Yeah, they won. The
To their
basketball
whole-
team beat Team USA.
Yeah, that's
like in the
like-
news in North Korea.
Yeah, and that was
great
like they were
stuff.
locking people up when people weren't crying, when the
Yep.
old man died and all that.
Yeah,
Like, these
Yeah, not
guys
showing
are-
enough
Yeah,
tears.
I mean, at some point you gotta respect the game, and I do respect Kim Jong-un's game. So that's a rundown. Any post coverage here? Anything we got?
Oh, we had the big bosses in town this week.
Yeah,
I mean,
there was a big board meeting yesterday that I thought went well. I think the big dick is coming back in like 2 weeks, churning. Squeeze time in between AT&T and Time Warner for us, which is nice.
And Barack Obama.
And Barack.
Yeah. Probably swinging by, have a little lunch
That's about it.
with Barry. Yeah.
That's about it.
All right.
I had
Cool.
kind of a weird moment last night, I guess, that I'm not sure how it went. So I
Oh,
was-
okay.
real quick, before the dinner, so everybody went to dinner last night. And
You didn't, did you?
No, I didn't.
I didn't.
But I was supposed to go on, I'm not sure if I pulled the right move, that's why I brought it up. I was supposed to hop on the Zero Blog 30 podcast for like 15, 20 minutes as like the news guy. Right before I was supposed to go on, a couple people had to drive out from dinner, so Erica came by and was like, hey, like, we're trying to find some spots, you want to go to dinner? And I was like, do I drop content or do I go to dinner? When your CEO asks if you want to go to dinner.
I would have gone to dinner maybe.
So, but you're telling this story because you're telling Dave that you decided to do content instead of dinner.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, that was the
I
suck-up
would
story.
just-
This is
I
a
would-
suck-up story.
And
I
then
see
he
it through
responded
you
and
here.
said, I think.
I'm seeing through
Well,
you.
no,
but
I'm
Dinner,
putting-
though, so
I'm
that's why
putting
I'm
in your
confused.
maybe schmooze,
Oh.
get some FaceTime.
Well, that's why it was like a really, do you say no to content and like going on a show, or do you like, I'm gonna go rub shoulders?
Shouldn't a Harvard guy like know, like in Skull and Bones, like you got to know this kind of shit? Social
That's why it was like my
graces.
bread and butter. I was like,
Yeah,
how
like
do I
what are
say
you
no
doing?
to
Why
that?
are you
By the way,
asking us?
We tried to get the RV to Harvard, Yale.
Yeah, what's up
and
with that?
It just cost. They want $10,000 to park.
Yeah, they
Well,
basically,
$10,000 to park.
and I've been
there.
hitting people up, and they're like, what? Like, what's no? Like, you got to pay $10,000 to do branded content or something. Like, we're just trying to throw a party. And
We're just trying to tailgate.
Right.
Right. So
We could just throw like a
Harvard,
tarp over
fucking
it.
fuck Harvard.
fuck Harvard.
Sure, you want to say that?
Never mind.
Skull and Bones, whatever.
was a-
Skull and Bones. What is it? What's the eating club you were in?
That is
You're
so.
in an eating club.
Eating clubs, Princeton.
Time out.
What are the things at Harvard?
I'm getting mad.
Don't worry about it.
Oh yeah, exactly.
It's a finals club. I'm getting. You sound like my dad. My dad's obsessed with like one of
How
my.
could you not be?
One
Every
of my,
fucking
one,
rich-
One of
it's
my
like-
buddies went, and that's all he has.
It's like the dark
what-
magic
yeah.
Hollywood. These guys like run the world.
But fuck you, Harvard, and fuck you, Riggs, because we've gone to every major fucking football game.
Look,
and they
I'm the
don't
first one to
charge,
say that in
and they
terms
think
of-
you're gonna for Harvard fucking Yale that I don't give my fucking flying fuck about.
In terms of all kinds of recruiting for anybody, if Barstool's there, anybody they're going to try to bring in for football or any other sports, or to try to make the
Yeah.
school look cool, the tailgate look cool. If
But
we're
why
not
are they
there,
charging $10,000
I'm with you. I think it's ridiculous. They're
for
not giving us
a
the time
football
of day.
game that wasn't relevant?
Well, they're
till
trying to put us in like the
1914.
corporate fucking lot across the highway. So,
That's even more crazy.
Crazy.
right. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not happy about it.
I do remember.
Doesn't look good for me.
There was one after show. Your Periscope. You were very drunk on that Periscope.
Last night?
Yeah.
That was you were on
You
fire.
were fucking hammered.
You
It
were
was-
absolutely on
And I
fire.
liked you did
you
the
have 10
classic
bottles of wine?
when you're like, I'm not drunk, which means you're drunk. You were pretty drunk.
Again, I've said this a million fucking times. That's the denial.
No,
I wasn't
but I
drunk,
do
you're
the
in
sa-
denial. I'm not in
No,
denial.
but I do
How
the
do you
same.
deny when you're not in
When
denial?
I'm drunk, I do the same thing. I say I'm not drunk. And
I wasn't
usually
that
I'm
shit-faced. I had a couple glasses of wine. I was not shit-faced.
Oh, you seem like Davey drinks there. Just wanted to-
Again,
Let's
I'm
talk
not
it up.
embarrassed by it. I'll tell you when I'm shit-faced. I mean, I had a couple glasses of red wine, and I was walking home. I was lost for a little bit because we were in an area. I don't like when New York changes from numbers.
New York does make no sense.
It's
I
like,
fucking
what
hate
the?
New York.
How the fuck am I supposed to know where I am if there's no numbers? I thought
Changes
the whole
numbers to like names.
just
and you
like
never
Varick
know where.
Street. It's all right. Well, what
Yeah.
the fuck's Varick
Yeah.
Street?
Yep.
And
And there's addresses. Every address is the same. In like, you could have the same address here as in Brooklyn, or like.
Oh, that's
Hoboken
bullshit.
and all that.
It's so
yeah.
fucking
That's
stupid.
bullshit. That's
So
bullshit.
stupid.
That's bullshit.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, that's
New
a
York's
rundown.
bullshit.
See you guys. Oh.